Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to read from the MSG Bible, Isaiah 41. I'm going to read the ninth and the 10th verses. And remember, this is the MSG Bible. I pulled you in from all over the world, called you in from every dark corner of the earth, telling you, you're my servant, serving on my side. I've picked you up. I haven't dropped you. Don't panic. I'm with you. There's no need to fear, for I'm your God. I'll give you strength. I'll help you. I'll hold you steady. Keep a firm grip on you. Today's lesson, sort of a unique title that God gave me this week. Today's lesson is entitled "Didn't I?" and I will explain. My lesson, my lesson mission statement for today is that you will be reminded of all God has already done for you and how He will continue to prove Himself in your life. Now, there are occasions in the Bible where God declares to us or tells us what He has already done for us. And often, it's just us. Often we forget that we're not in this alone. We're not in this by ourselves. Those times when we might feel isolated, God reminds us that He has always been with us. He usually starts out by listing what He has already achieved in our lives. And the way God expresses His accomplishments with us is by starting out with the words, didn't I? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my goodness. And then God will complete the rest of his sentence or statement. Now, the actual phrase, didn't I, does not appear in the King James Bible, even though we often use that phrase in our, in a lot of our dissertations. Instead, the Bible uses these phrases like, isn't it I? Or wasn't it I? Or was it not I? Oh my goodness. Or did not I? But it doesn't use the exact wording of didn't I as a direct quote from God. And there's a reason for that. Um, now, uh, these instances, when they occur, before God has to proclaim himself again, they often are related to us, uh, prompting questions about God's role in the events, or where God is the subject of our inquiry. In other words, there's something going on and we question something. An example of the statements of didn't I or wasn't it I, and that's usually how God responds when he wants to get that point across. But one of the good examples of it is found in Isaiah 45 and 21. And it reads, tell ye, and bring them near. Yea, let them take counsel together, who hath declared this from ancient time, who hath told it from that time. Get this. Have not I the Lord? Oh my goodness. Goodness. And there is no God besides me, a just God and a Savior. There is none besides me. In other words, who told you this? Wasn't it I? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. But let's get into this. So, didn't I? Now, this is a common declaration that God makes throughout interaction with his people. And it seems as if he must constantly remind us of what he has done. Not only that, but also has to continually affirm what he can do. He has to always tell us, didn't I do this? Well, then I can do this. You know, he always has to do that. So the phrase didn't I? And now most of the abbreviated words will not be found in older Bible texts. And the reason is because the words themselves are newer than the translations. You know, they just didn't have abbreviated words back then. You know, so what you'll see in older Bible texts are what I said before is was not, was it not I? Um, um, it was I, or did not I? So although the words didn't I are not listed in the King James Bible, their objectives are. In every instance where God repeats one of those phrases, he is proclaiming what he has already done for us. And he starts out by using that phrase in some form, didn't I? Now, after I got this message, and I got it, I won't say late in the week, but later than I normally get a lesson. But after I got it and I started to write it, I was reminded of a song. It's an older song of Donnie McClurkin's. And the title of the song is Didn't You Know? Didn't you know? In that song, Donnie sings as if God is saying to his children how consistently he has been in their lives, and they ought to know it. This is some of the lyrics of the song. It's some of the lyrics of it. It goes, didn't I know your fears? Goodness. Didn't I share your pain? Didn't I wipe away your tears? Wasn't I shelter from your rain? Wasn't I there for you? Wasn't I always true? Didn't you know that I'd be with you all the way? And that's the opening verse from Donnie McClurkin's song, and he says those 8 verses. Goodness, he says them 3 times before he goes on to anything else. And it's almost as if he's trying to pound into the listener the fact that you ought to know, goodness, God has been good to you. Goodness, oh my goodness. But just in case you don't remember, let me remind you what he's already done. And he starts each phrase by didn't I? Or wasn't I? Wasn't I? Oh my goodness, my goodness. I'm gonna read from the MSG Bible, please. I'm gonna read Isaiah 45, and I'm gonna read from the 18th to the 23rd verse. Remember, it's the MSG Bible, so you may see hyphened words, or like that, because it's a newer translation. And it reads, God, creator of the heavens, he is, remember? Oh my goodness. God, maker of earth. He put on its foundations, built it from scratch. He didn't go to all that trouble just to leave it empty, with nothing in it. He made it to be lived in. This God says, lo, I am God, the one and only. I don't just talk to myself or mumble under my breath. I never told Jacob, seek me in emptiness, in dark nothingness. I am God. I work out in the open, saying what's right, setting things right. So gather around, come on in, all you refugees and cast off. They don't seem to know much, do they? Goodness. Those who carry around their no God blocks of wood, praying for help to a dead stick. So tell me what you think. Oh my goodness. Look at the evidence. Put your heads together. Make your case. Who told you and a long time ago what's going on here? Wasn't that me? Oh my goodness. Who made sense of all things for you? Wasn't I the one, God? It had to be me. I'm the only God there is. The only God who does things right and knows how to help. So turn to me and be helped, saved. Everyone, whoever and wherever you are, I am God, the only God there is, and the one and only. Goodness. I promised in my own name, every word out of my mouth does what it says. I never take back what I say. Wow. Oh, wow, wow. In this Bible verse, Isaiah 45, God is reaffirming who he is to the prophet Isaiah. Now, it's not that Isaiah was questioning God's ability in any way. It wasn't that. But Isaiah was getting a first-hand view of what his people were going through at that time. And that may have caused Isaiah to kind of doubt whether they could ever recover from that devastation. I remember they were besieged then. They were enslaved. Oh my goodness. In the Bible, in the King James Bible, of Isaiah 45, that 23rd verse reads, I have sworn by myself. Oh my goodness. In other words, God says to the prophet Isaiah, this will happen. There's no greater authority than I. So I make an oath with myself that my people will recover. Now, in Isaiah's mind, he may have felt like things have gone too far. Like there was no way they could recover from that complete desolation. So what God does is he lists his past accomplishments with a promise that he can bring recovery, healing, rescue, deliverance, and salvation to his people. My goodness. So after reading that, where am I going with this lesson today? where am I going with it? I got to get to the mission statement. So I got to get to that mission statement, bring that out. Last week, I discussed the transitioning stages. And I mentioned in that lesson that you might, for moments of it, look defeated when you're in that stage. I said that last week. Now, after that lesson, my wife and my daughter, we had some time where we were discussing the lesson. We were talking about it, about the various stages of transitioning. And my daughter and we were talking about the, biblical figures and transitioning stages. And she brought up Moses. In his transitioning stage, he went from the man next to Pharaoh to leading men, women, and children, slaves, into the desert. But after his transition, he received a relationship with God that was like no other human being. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. My wife and I, we were talking about Bible figures experiencing transitioning stages, and we brought up Jesus. We brought up several, but Jesus was one of the figures we discussed. And in his transitioning stage, he was brutalized, scandalized, and eventually murdered. But when his transition, or when his change came, when transition was done and his change came, he was supplied with all power from heaven. So yeah. You might look defeated sometimes while you are in the midst of your transitioning stages. I can't do anything about that. But and I'm gonna tell you this, I have no idea what your transitioning stage looks like. Me and my daughters talked about this last week. It's hard to tell when it starts. It's hard to recognize that you're in it. And sometimes you don't even know when it's over. You're just in the middle. Oh my God, oh my God, my God, my God. You just have to deal with that, okay? And we don't know this, right? We don't know that. Now, I'm in transition stage, and and I was brought up as a minister of music in the church, and it's frustrated me, because, and she knows this. It frustrated me because after I had a bout of COVID, I can't sing anymore. For a while, I couldn't hear, and I couldn't hear the notes. I couldn't hear the music, and now that that's clearing up and I can hear it, I can't do it, and it's frustrating me. And I know that doesn't sound like much to a lot of people, but it means a lot to me because I was brought up and I just rejoiced in singing praises unto God. It's just a part of what I've always done. And, so I don't know what my transitioning stage even looks like. God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how it feels. I don't even know what it's going to look like when it's done. But what I do know is that no matter how ugly, oh my goodness, the transitioning stage might look, God is still able to restore you. Just like he told Isaiah in Isaiah 43. It's not so bad, Isaiah, that I can't fix this. Oh my, I don't care what you see. I don't care what you see, Isaiah. It's not so devastated that I can't fix this. And then, like in Isaiah 45 and 23, in the King James Version, it says, in Isaiah, I'll swear on this by my own self. Oh my goodness. God took an oath and then backed it up with his past accomplishments. And he says, and I'll do the same thing. Oh my God. For us today. He says, I will do the same thing for you. You see, you're in your toughest part. And this is the thing that I had to come to or had to really grasp. It's in your toughest part of your transitioning stage moments. That's when God will reach out to you and say, didn't I heal you before? Oh my goodness. Didn't I feed you before? Didn't I clothe you before? Didn't I take care of that before? Oh my goodness. Commissioned has a wonderful song. It's a song that I like by them. It says, Until My Change Comes. And in that, some of the lyrics of that song is, until my change come, here's what I'll do. Renew my strength, keep holding on, and I'll wait on you. Oh my God. You see, the only way to get to your change is through transitioning. And I'm going to be real honest with you. The transitioning stage could end up being one of the toughest times of your life. But hold on to God. See, God is not going to leave you. And not only will he not leave you, but he will also reaffirm his position in your life. Oh my goodness. It's like the McClurkin song that I brought to you earlier, where God will ask you, didn't you know? Oh my goodness. Didn't I know your fears? Goodness. Didn't I share your pain? Didn't I wipe away your tears? Wasn't I shelter from your rain? Wasn't I there for you? Wasn't I always true? Didn't you know that I would be with you? Oh my God, you ought to know this. You ought to have known this. Oh my God, my God. I like the way he closes it. Because he just goes off on, with a proclamation. He says, have I walked with you? Oh my God. Have I talked with you? I will hold you. I will hold you. Hold you, he says. Yes, hold you in my helping arms. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, yes, yes. And then he says, I said I'll never leave. Said I'll never leave. I said I won't leave you. I won't leave you. I won't leave you all alone. I'm right there, standing right there, standing right there. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I really like the way that you all see that I'm suffering with allergies. But we'll get through that. But I like the way that he goes through that, and and the way he ends that with a real strong conviction of, you ought to have known this. Oh my God. See, some people, they get concerned when God repeats what he's done for them. I guess they feel like they're being yelled at. But I'm like Isaiah. I rejoice when God uses the phrase, didn't I? Because what it lets me know is that him and I have history together. We're in a relationship. My Savior and I are together. Goodness. My Heavenly Father and I have spent quality time together. He doesn't mind reminding me of what we've been through together. Oh my goodness. And he starts out by saying, didn't I? Oh my God, my God, my God, my God. If y'all remember the verse that I gave you from Donald Lawrence's song last week, I think I read that to you. But the song "God, You Are My God," one of the verses that I told you I liked the most in it was where it says, "God of decisions, Creator of answers, Thou who ordained my way through my transition." held my position. God, you are my God. See, I love that part of the song. And see, I really want you to know that I get it. It doesn't feel great. It's confusing. It's baffling. It just is what it is. I can't really describe it. You have to describe your own moments. But my goodness, you will have time to transition to your change. See, God is not going to allow it to pass you by. It's not easy. But just like the Donnie McClurkin song says, God is going to constantly remind you he is there. And he'll start out by whispering reassurance in your ear at your lowest moments. He'll whisper the words, didn't I? Oh my goodness. My goodness. I thank God for today's lesson. I hope it helps you. It helped me. I will talk to you again.